Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Yasmine Flores and welcome to another episode of The Arts at EPCC. With me today is a young man named David Zamora from the Mass Communication Department. How are you, David?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for coming on the show today. So tell me a little bit about mass communications, about the degree.
So with the degree Mass Communications, I specifically picked it because the bachelor I want is in multimedia journalism. I'd like to do sports writing, and I thought that this associate would accompany it very well because it had a lot of video editing, audio, and different things. So I've taken like media writing. I need to take that one again, so I got to do that one. But both digital video productions, the audio production, intro to mass comm, and film appreciation.
Awesome, very good. And so you've had Michael Head as an instructor. You've had, you said, Lorena Figueroa as an instructor. And so from each of those classes, which class did you have with Mr. Head?
With Mr. Head, I had film appreciation in summer one, and then right now I have him for digital video production too.
Very good. So how is digital video production going?
It's not my forte, I guess.
Okay.
But I enjoy it. It's fun to do, but it's
Okay.
not something I would look for in a career because I think I'd like the writing aspect more.
Okay, awesome. So you're more of a writer. Very good. Okay, and so in which class have you taken that's more writing in the mass comm?
I have taken, well, the mass comm, the intro to mass comm, that one's a lot of writing. We had an essay a week from Miss Figueroa.
Okay.
And that one was pretty simple. It was just a lot of writing there. And then, well, when I take media writing again, I'll be doing a lot of writing then.
Okay.
So that one's going to be, and then it'll be AP style, so that'll be a little different too.
Oh, very good. Yes. So now talk to me a little bit about what kind of career you're looking at. And you spoke a little bit about sports, right? So do you have a specific sports team that you just absolutely love?
I'm the biggest Raiders fan you'll ever meet.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think, you have the super fans, but then I'm not like there, but under them, that's where I am, And, and I think if you go over to my house, you'll see it, and it's on my car, it's everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
So
okay. Yeah. So you're a Raiders fan.
Yeah, it's on my keychain too, now that I think about it. On my ring.
Oh my
On my ring, yeah. I have it. It's everywhere.
Oh my goodness. So did you grow up like maybe with a parent or a sibling always watching like this is a football team, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just making sure. Yeah. Okay.
So, my dad, he grew up a Raider fan.
Okay.
Oddly enough, everyone else was Cowboys, but he grew up a Raider fan.
Interesting.
So when he graduated, they won the Super Bowl in '83.
Oh,
the 83-84 season, I believe. And then, so then they were Oakland, LA, Oakland. So when I was born, they were Oakland. And I've just kind of grown to be a Raider fan. The only thing is that I was telling my friend the other day, I was like, we've only had 5 winning seasons in 22 years of me being alive, so that's a little it's a little rough, and 3 of those came from when I was under 5, so I can't remember 3 of them, and I can remember last season and I can remember 2016, but that's about it.
Wow.
So it's not easy to do.
Yeah. And so what do you see yourself doing? I mean, do you see yourself at CNN? Do you see yourself at, behind the desk, talking in front of a camera, or do you see yourself as more of like a journalist?
So I've watched a lot of Colin Cowherd.
Okay.
I can't remember where he is on. I believe it's CBS, but I might be wrong. But Mike Mayock, he was a draft analyst. He was also the general manager for the Raiders when John Gruden had his second stint with them.
Okay.
But he, being a draft analyst, I enjoyed that stuff because I was really, really good at it one point, and then life started happening, so it kicked my butt, and I've kind of strayed away from it a little. But I remember sitting with the draft, and I didn't know the players' names exactly for about like the first 10 to 20 picks. I knew names. But after that, I was calling them out the first 32 picks, what position they were going to be in.
Wow.
And I got, I believe it was like 30 out of 32 right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
It was a little interesting.
And so this is when they're coming out of high school, and
this is when they're coming out of college. So they go out of college and they declare for the NFL draft.
Got it. That's what it.
So,
thank you. You're right. And so wow. So you got the first 32 picks right, and you love the Raiders. Is there a specific player for the Raiders?
Former Charles Woodson, easily Charles Woodson. He only defensive player to win the Heisman.
Okay.
Rookie defensive player of the year for the Raiders, defensive player of the year for the Packers, won a Super Bowl with the Packers.
Wow. Okay.
2011, he led the league in interceptions with 9, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And then he came back to the Raiders. And I have his college jersey. I have a jersey that's Nike, and then I have one that says C. Woodson because he played with Rod Woodson, so they had to have the C and the R in front of it.
Oh, okay.
And then when I was younger, the first 2 jerseys I had were Charles Woodson and Tim Brown.
Oh,
so
wow.
He's
Awesome.
the one that's my main favorite player. And then
Okay.
currently, Darren Waller.
Okay.
Darren Waller he's a tight end for the Raiders, so he's my favorite. He's been hurt like last season and this season, but I love him as a person, not.
Yeah.
Well, I like his play style too, but
Okay.
as a person, I think he's even better.
Awesome. So you see yourself giving reports on these sorts of games, and you'll have to forgive me for my lack of terminology. I'm a clarinet player. Hello. And so the only thing I know is the marching band aspect, and that doesn't really exist in the NFL. So good. Okay. And so in the mass comm major, you talked about taking classes with Mr. Head and Miss Figueroa, and you also mentioned Billy Towns.
Yeah.
So what class did you take with Billy Towns?
That was little backstory. So I was a forensic chemistry major, then I turned into an education major, and then I tore my ACL.
Oh.
So I tore my ACL and I was gone for a little while. I came back, and then that's when I was like, I'm going to go into mass comm. Went into mass comm. So my first classes were last semester in the spring. Mm-hmm. And it was the mass comm with Miss Figueroa, and it was audio production with Mr. Towns.
Okay.
So the audio production was really interesting because he did it's called a bumper. So like when you listen to the radio, you have the song, and then they'll do like, oh, the weather's like da-da-da-da, whatever outside. And then they'll have another song.
Yeah. So
I asked him if it would be okay if I could do it like from a sports perspective.
Okay.
So they have I listened to a lot of Brent Musburger.
Okay.
He recently retired, but he was the announcer for the Raiders. Mm-hmm. And so they'd have him announce, and then it would go to the game and then announce. So I did the game. Mm-hmm. I had game audio playing from the fourth quarter.
Okay.
At the end of it, and then I did my little 15-second announcement or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And then I ended it with the opening of overtime.
Oh.
So I had about 6 layers of audio in that.
Okay.
Different things.
Okay, very interesting. So in this audio production class with Mr. Towns, you were required essentially to basically come up with audio blurbs. Mm-hmm. And how long was each blurb?
The first one, that one was hard. That was really hard because it was a digital bio, and well, it was the first week and it's a digital bio, and I've never used it, so I had spent a whole day from like 9 in the morning to like midnight trying to figure out how to do it. And I did it, and it was just whatever it was 2 or 3 minutes, and you know, it doesn't 2-3 minutes isn't a lot, but when you're talking about yourself and you're watching it like the time run, you're like, I'm running out of things to talk about. So
I see.
It was super hard on that one.
Yeah.
And then we did the bumper.
Uh-huh.
We did a commercial. My commercial was a little odd because I hadn't had any video production skills, so it was a little difficult getting to learn that. And then I think I did a documentary and an interview. I did an interview.
Okay. Tell me about the interview.
I interviewed my friend. His name's Thomas Gardea. He's also a mass communication major. He does a lot of video editing, so he helped me a lot with learning how to do it. Okay. You know, it was a lot easier when he helped me than when I tried by myself. And even now, I'll still ask him about certain things, and he'll help me.
So, and let me, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm kind of picturing, do you talk to, let's say, other people maybe that you knew through high school that were older than you and maybe have pursued a very similar career path, and how they get their foot in the door? That's my question. So let's say you get the bachelor's, right? Mm-hmm. Because we all watch the weather. We all watch the news, right? On all the various networks that I won't even name here, but all the various networks, whether it's cable or it's our local ones. And so it always makes you wonder how many mass comm majors, and I ask the same thing in anything. I ask the same question in music and art. How many of these majors do we graduate? And then how are they going to get their foot in the door? Do you have any ideas on how you're going to get your foot in the door once you get that bachelor's degree?
From people from high school that I worked with, I don't think any of them have the same degree plan as myself. So I think that one's a little, it's a little different. But
okay.
Again, back to Miss Figueroa. Class with her, I have an internship class, so I work at the Sun Bowl. I actually just came from there right now.
Good. So, wonderful.
Yeah, I do a lot of social media postings and proofreadings on things like that.
That's excellent.
Delivering posters and whatnot.
That's excellent. And that's exactly kind of where I was going. Yeah. It seems like, and so social media, and especially for mass comm, social media has kind of become this sort of like a halfway point, right? Between students that are kind of working on learning all the different tips and tricks of the trade to the professional side. It's like this intermediary where all these students and young people can try their hand at doing things online. And nowadays, imagine 30 years ago, I don't know how old you are, but you don't look like you're quite 30 yet. So
I'm 8 years away.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So yeah, you're so a long ways away. So 30 years ago, we could have never imagined picking up a cell phone and taking a picture. That would have been, everybody would have been like, what? A telephone, right? So the fact that anyone can do it now is just really mind-boggling. So you did this thing. So you're working this internship semester long.
Yeah.
Okay. Through Ms. Figueroa, and and you went to the Super Bowl. What are some of the other places you've had to go?
Well, the Sun Bowl.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Super Bowl is a different thing. Yeah.
Hello, Sun Bowl. Okay, yes.
I haven't gone to the Sun Bowl yet. The Sun Bowl game is going to be December 30th.
Okay.
So I'll be at the game. I was, told that I'll be in the press box helping them with whatever they need, whatever I have to do, and then
that's cool.
I believe there's 5 or 6 interns. I haven't met all of them yet.
Okay.
But we'll get our each turn to go onto the field and stuff like that.
Interesting. And what are you going to be doing down on the field?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so...
okay.
I've done different things with them. I'll sit there and I'll roll posters or make postings, social media posts.
Okay.
They have Suncourt posts that go on Twitter, and I've done all of those. So they're coming out on Sundays, and there's a few that come out on Saturdays. I believe we have one coming out this Saturday and next Saturday, and then the rest are going to go up until Sunday. On Christmas it ends.
Okay.
And then same thing with Facebook. So,
okay, yeah. Nice. So you're using Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. To any TikTok? Do you do TikTok?
I use TikTok to watch videos.
Okay.
I haven't, created anything on there. It's a little...
All right.
The social media for me is a little different to use. I'm not very savvy in it.
Okay.
So like I said, I tried to do the writing or the research. I did a lot of the research for a lot of the coaches that previously played or coached in the Sun Bowl, which is a lot harder to research than you think.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so
I can imagine.
It's a lot of back and forth. And
so you're a background writer, basically, is what you're looking at. Got it. I'm sorry. I guess my assumption always is, and maybe because, again, we're performance-based mainly, right, in music. And there are a lot of our students want to do music production. But even within that particular area, they want to perform themselves. Does that make sense? So they want to be front and center. So I always assume that all of us here in the arts want to be, the person under the spotlight.
No,
But not you. You want to be in the
Yeah,
background. And you know what? You're not the only one. I had another student on the show that also said something similar. So you want to write, someone else would read what you've written, and you mentioned research, right? So specifically sports research. Where do you, how do you research
So
stuff?
when I research and when I tell you like the whole stats on Charles Woodson, for example, I'll go to it's a website. I personally like it. I've found it the most reliable that I've used. It's called Sports Reference, and they have different ones. They have MLB, NBA, NFL, NCAA, all that. And so I've looked through his multiple times because I have fun looking at stats, and so that's how I found his. And then in each category, it'll list the categories, and then if the number's bolded, that means they're like the leader that season in whatever stats it is. So like that's how I know like he's the leader in interceptions, or and they'll have like little indicators like, oh, he's a 6-time All-Pro player and 7-time Pro Bowler or whatever. I don't know how many he has. I can't say that one off the top of my head. I didn't ever think about that one. But
That's really cool. Yeah. So have you, and I'll throw out some ideas to you, and you can make a frowny face if it's not something that, have you thought about reaching out even on Twitter maybe, or maybe writing a letter to maybe some of the other sportscasters in town, and more importantly, actually, probably to the, these are just ideas, again, crazy ideas that you take with a grain of salt, right? But to the different TV stations, and maybe, or taking a tour of the TV stations, maybe with a group of you, like the club or something, heading out and meeting the people that work behind the scenes. And that way, maybe one of them can kind of take you under their wing and say, oh yeah, you're interested in this. Well, this is what we do on this end. That's just an idea. I'm thinking, in the past when I've tried to get my foot in the door somewhere or something, I kind of sometimes will reach out with an email or a letter back in the day when things were mailed, right? So yeah, I don't know if that's something that you've embarked on.
I haven't necessarily thought of reaching out through social media.
Okay.
My boss, well, his boss, which is also, I guess, my boss, but from what he had said, he knows a lot of people, so he has a lot of pulls, what they were saying. So hopefully with that, I can move to like a college level, like NCAA, depending on, wherever I can go.
Yeah.
And then from there, try and, move forward and just keep going. I know it's not going to like, oh, I graduated, okay, I have a job. No, I know it's not going to be like that.
Right. Yeah.
So it's, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle for me, but I don't think I won't, succeed. I think I'll do just fine. I
think you will. Yes, absolutely. Very good. Well, that's really awesome. So tell me, next semester, what courses are you enrolling in Mass Comm?
Next semester, I'm taking media writing again.
Okay.
That is the last course I need. I had to drop it because I have I work at Walmart on the weekends. Okay. I do the internship during the week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Sure.
I'm in student government, so I, have our meetings on Wednesdays, and Friday I have class with Mr. Head.
Okay, right.
So I had her class Monday, Wednesday, but it was just, I wasn't, doing too well because I overstacked my plate. And
yes, yeah.
I thought I was going to be able to handle it, and I was not. So I dropped it, and I'll be taking it again next semester, so yeah, I'll be for sure good next semester.
Okay, very good.
That class is the only one, and then not a Mass Comm class, but I'm taking MIDI, so that one's going to be a little interesting.
Very good. Yeah, if you've never done MIDI before, and we can tell the audience, MIDI is with Billy Towns as well, and it is on the music side, so you're going to learn about music production, basically, and basically, do you know how to read music at all?
I used to be in choir, and I was a violin when I was like 10.
Oh,
yeah.
you know, we have a choir at EPCC. This is recruiting.
Yeah, I don't sing anymore. Yeah, Dr. Gorola, I've talked to her.
Yes,
so,
good.
yeah,
Okay.
Dr. Gorola. She,
Yeah.
we did a banquet last year, and I had to contact her for one of her students to sing the national anthem.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
good. Excellent.
So I know a lot of different people now.
Yes, of course. Well, okay, so if you can't join us for the choir, we're glad that you're joining us in the MIDI class. You're going to learn quite a bit there with Mr. Towns. All sorts of, basically, it's the way I can describe it as the outsider looking in, is it's several banks of sounds that you can layer, that you can stack to create either, whether it be music or a combination of backgrounds.
Actually, for his audio production class, that was the one assignment I forgot. We did a MIDI assignment, but we used loops.
Oh, okay.
So mine was just a bunch of loops, but some people
Okay.
tried to do it. There was one person who knew how to do it, so he did his, and then there was another person who tried it without any experience. He did really good, but you could tell it was like still like that kind of raw sound because it
Sure.
was still not like, he was even like, it was really hard to do and everything, but like,
Yeah.
so that was kind of like the intro to like, everything. And I'm super big in music as much as I am in sports, so.
Oh, nice. Well, this whole time, I just thought you were just a Raiders fan.
No,
Okay.
I love a lot of Detroit music. So,
Oh, interesting. Very
yeah,
good.
it's a little weird that it's from Detroit. So it started when I was 11, I'd say. The Temptations were number one on my
old
list.
school.
Yeah, Temptations.
Okay.
And then, there's Smokey Robinson.
Of course.
I believe the Five Stair Steps, Diana Ross, and the Supremes. Then when I turned 14, I started getting into my own like different realm of music, and I started listening to. I believe once I was 15, that was the first time I ever heard Eminem.
Oh,
So
okay.
then,
Yeah.
Eminem's from Detroit and everything.
Right.
so-
That's the first person
Yeah.
I thought of when you
Yeah,
said
so-
Detroit.
And that's
Yeah.
the first person a lot of people think. And
Uh-huh.
when I say Temptations first, people are like, wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, wait a minute.
that's
you
a
just
little
rewound 50 years.
off,
Right. Yeah.
But no, Eminem and new, old, I like it. And then
Yeah.
my favorite artist is actually from Detroit too. He was born in Detroit, raised in LA. His name is Big Sean. And
Oh.
he's done a song with Eminem. But
Okay.
his I think I'm very monotone when I talk, so he's very monotone as well.
Okay.
But he also has he's a rapper, but it's kind of more of a, I guess, mellow, smooth, but not, not like soft. It's like,
Sure.
it's a little different to explain.
Okay.
He has different sounds also. Everyone does. so.
Yes, of course. Of course. How interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that is a wide spectrum in Detroit alone.
Oh, it's huge.
Just because you're talking about Motown, right? The history of Motown all the way into the 1970s, 80s, right? And then finally, of course, then there's kind of this weird gap in Motown,
Yeah.
right? And it's not so much that they went away, it's just that their music was not really in popularity there for a while. And then they officially closed, right? They officially shut down.
I don't know.
I think
they might have, but
yeah.
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, yeah, I think Motown finally officially shut down, but of course, my goodness, what a legacy they leave behind.
Yeah, and then through them I found others. I believe there's a rapper called Cash Doll. Dej Loaf, I had a couple of songs of hers. Royce da 5'9", I believe, is from there. So there's, different artists.
Yeah. And is there something very specific about the Detroit sound in rap?
There's something very, very specific, and I believe it most likely started with Eminem.
Okay.
And he started rapping at like just local bars or whatever, and then
right.
I think people kind of started to look, and
Yeah.
at the same time you had Biggie in New York and Tupac in LA and Ice Cube and all those.
I would, and I listen to a little bit of rap music, not a whole lot, but I would have to really sit down and listen to Tupac and listen to Eminem and listen to New York, which I'm trying to remember who's at. That's Biggie, right?
Or 50 Cent.
Okay,
Yeah.
50 Cent. All right. And really try to, and several artists from each area, to really make that comparison. Is it the backgrounds? Is it the refrains? Is it the time signature, the rhyme scheme? I mean, I'd be really curious to see what it is.
I mean, they're different in each way. I think I like a lot of the West Coast rap. So a lot of that, if you listen to Tupac, you'll, again, different sounds, you'll hear different types of, different versions of a person. Everyone's not just, oh, I'm just happy. Everyone has different emotions. I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm, whatever.
Yeah.
So they'll have different songs. But I think New York and LA had totally different sounds. And
They do.
They're both good,
Yeah.
but they're good in their own ways.
Yes.
And
of
I
course.
think Detroit has maybe a middle ground. I don't know. There's just something about it. And
Okay.
there's Big Sean's Detroit 2. It's his last album that came out.
Yeah.
And there's an interlude. They have Erykah Badu and
Okay.
Stevie Wonder and can't remember, Dave Chappelle.
Oh, wow.
And they each do their own little 1-minute story or whatever it is.
Oh, interesting.
And one of them was talking about how the Detroit sound, there's just something different. And they can't even explain it. They just say there's something different about the Detroit sound.
Okay.
And
so now I'm
just,
gonna do some investigating on this sound, and I'm gonna get back to you and possibly get back to the audience. Maybe we leave them in suspense.
Yeah.
Right?
But,
for maybe a part 2 of this interview.
Yeah.
So let me tell you, first of all, thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate it. For those of you out there that are interested in mass communication, you can get a hold of Miss Alexandra Hinojosa Fur or Mr. Michael Head, who I know very well. He's diagonal to me there in the offices. And he recommended for you to come on the show. Interesting interview. We have a Raiders fan. If they would like to pick up someone that can help support the team, right?
Yeah. Goal is to end up in Vegas, oddly enough. For
Okay.
that. I'd love to be over there.
Wonderful. Okay.
I don't think I'd like to be on the Strip as much, but I'd love to just maybe experience something different.
Very
Live
good.
over there.
Awesome. Wonderful to have you on the show. Thank you so much for doing this show, and we hope to see you again. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. For now, take care. Bye-bye.